Hey guys, this is Kenny from the Level With You channel. Just here to let you guys know if you guys want to come chat with us, we got a Discord server up and running. Link is in the description below. You could give us some feedback, ask us questions, just interact with us or in general. You can also find us on social media platforms. Instagram, we're LVL with you. Twitter, we're Level With You. And on Facebook, you could search Level With You. Hope you guys enjoy the show. Stay level.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Level With You show, a weekly video game podcast where we all get together and talk about, you guessed it, video games. Thank you for sticking with us. I was gone last week prepping my wedding. It happened this weekend. I dare say it was a fine time.
It was awesome.
You all were there, and thank you for that. Kenny, what was your favorite part?
The food.
The food?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Kenny kept flagging down the guys that were coming towards the table. He had this one guy that was his boy, which I'll get to in a minute. But the first couple of nice gentlemen that came over were just like, do you guys want some... Okay, he's like, yep, right here. Come here. You know, over here. And he's like, yep. He's like, he was a little nervous at first. So he was just like, maybe I'll just take one. And then the guy kind of looked at him and was like, you can take a couple. And Kenny's like, oh, sweet. Just full palms. Like 2, 3, 4. Eat them. Walks away. Another guy comes back. Looks at Kenny, goes, yeah, man, I don't really want to do my job, so here you go. I'm just going to leave this plate here. And so we're like, oh, sweet. We just grabbed a whole bunch of stuff.
Seriously?
Yeah. The guy was just like, I really don't want to do this, and I can see you are hungry, so I'm just going to leave this here. And we were all like, sweet, thanks, man. He's like, I'll be back later.
Well, I'm glad that worked out for you anyway.
That was so funny.
Yeah, that became my boy for the rest of the night.
I wasn't even expecting that. I wasn't even expecting all the hors d'oeuvres and
That was
the
really good.
people coming around with foods.
Yeah, that was kind of the
nice.
last minute thing that was worked out. I had a lot of back and forth with we had a separate caterer from our food provider, so there was I was the middleman in between them, kind of figure out what was able to be passed and what wasn't. But yeah, I'm glad that worked out. The main meals were real good too. I was just super happy with how smooth everything went, how like nobody really embarrassed themselves too badly, and like there was a good flow, I thought.
It was good.
Yeah.
There's a couple. I mean, I showed up very, very hungover, but I got there right at the beginning of the ceremony. I was sitting there. It was, everybody was all
Yeah,
nice.
I thought you were like rolling up. Like, didn't you take your seat like right as
the ceremony started? It was perfect. I had the 2 bags of ice. Tyler asked me to grab. He's like, "Can you get ice on the way?" And I was like, "You got it. I gotta get coffee first and a couple Advil." So I got that. I actually originally thought the ceremony was at 6, so I texted Tyler and I was like, "Hey, the wedding's not until what time is it? I want to make sure." And he's like, "Oh, it starts at 4, so like get here for like 3:30." And at this point, I was like just getting out of bed at 3, and I was like, "Oh boy, okay, all right." So I hurried things up and brought a bag of ice, left the ice at the front of the driveway, and hustled down to the ceremony.
Word. Well, Tyler, got to give him a shout out. He gave an awesome best man speech. He did a really good job doing his shoe game. So
He's into foot stuff. It's okay. Ask him about it in the comments.
yeah. So
That's why I should have asked the question. I should have been like, "Who's into foot stuff more?" And then we could have found out.
I know, I think one of you guys said that afterwards. Like, should ask who's more into feet.
No, you asked that, and I was like, "Shit!" You said that, and I was like, "Why didn't I say that?"
I'm glad the questions were mostly PG. So,
Yeah, I wanted to. But
I just love that in my speech when I pointed out when your mom bought you Halo.
Oh yeah,
I loved her face after I said that.
Yeah, that was great.
give us a recreation. What was it like?
It was just like
She was laughing. She's like,
Your mom's a sweetie. Oh my God, your family's super nice.
oh well, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
They were. I mean, my mom was thrilled and most fun she's had in years.
Oh.
I definitely at one point in time at the beginning of the ceremony, right? I think one of the speakers wasn't working, and I was like, "Holy crap, Wiley's dad is about to rip into the dude right now."
Oh yeah, when you walked over to the side,
walked over to him, and I'm like, finger wagging,
gave him the big finger.
All you saw was the guy so like apologetic. I'm like, "Oh yeah, he's getting his ass ripped into."
Oh, is that really? Oh shit.
So I noticed him walk over to him, and I was just like, "What's going on?"
I was like, "Oh yeah," ceremony going on, and I'm just looking at Wiley's dad like, "Oh yeah, he's ripping into him."
Well, yeah. The first couple minutes of the ceremony, there was just this loud buzzing coming from the speaker, and I was just telling myself, like, "Please stop. Please go away. Please go away.
Please be inside my head. Please be inside my head."
And somebody unplugged something somewhere, and it went away.
yeah,
So
it did go away. That was good.
The whole speaker went away.
Yeah.
yeah. So I actually thought it was two of my groomsmen, Jack and Kyle, kind of the one like saying, "Hey, like unplug the thing" or whatever. But
Or maybe he did. They did, but I'm not.
It was a group effort.
Your dad definitely walked up to him. Your dad got up and I was like, "Oh shit, what's going on?"
wow, I was so in the moment, I did not notice.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Was it just kind of like one of those moments and just like boop, 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 boop. It's like everything slows down and you're like, or but it's like, obviously more elegant.
Yeah, I guess so.
Like bullet time, but wedding time.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it was.
The time
It was
slow.
sort of hard to like be there in the moment because you're kind of like your mind's racing, and
Oh, I don't blame
so
you.
I was trying to, and I was able to later on in the night, and it was a blast. But as the ceremony was happening, it was kind of a little bit of a out of body experience.
Mm-hmm. You did good. You did. You said your vows well, and you got through it. And if anything, the priest probably kind of got a little. He did a little trailing with his words, but I mean, other than that, you guys were good to the point. He kind of rambled on a little bit. I started to lose it, and not like lose it like mad, like, ooh, just like I am really hungover and I need a beer or I'm gonna go to bed.
Yeah.
But I got that beer and it was good.
Your vows were very nice, Wiley.
Thank you.
They made me tear up a little bit.
I saw you could see. I was like, I could see you and Tyler like. I've never seen Tyler cry, but I've seen Tyler like on the verge. So he's just kind of like, he was up there like. he did the head shake that just okay.
It's raining.
And they kept doing like he would look at you, but then he would look kind of like past everybody, just like keep it together. All right, you got this. 'Cause I do the same thing. I can't look at anybody. You can't put sappy pictures to music or sentimental stuff because it's just like once the bottom lip starts, that's all over.
Nice. Well, I got the same reactions from a few other people, so that was the point. So I'm glad that got people where it was supposed to.
I enjoyed
And
it.
hers were amazing too. So,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a great wedding all around.
Thank you very much, Kenny. Appreciate it. So,
Tyler got real drunk.
I mean, it was.
I got pretty.
We all got real drunk.
Yeah, there was definitely an abundance of things to drink, very tasty things. So, a lot of people did.
I balanced my food and alcohol. That's why. That's why it wasn't plaster.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was drinking nonstop, but
He's also
I
eating nonstop.
was eating nonstop as well.
You got-
I had 2 plates of food and God knows how many hors d'oeuvres.
I still have like I don't know 4 pounds of Indian chicken in my fridge, and
Are they cooked?
yeah, I cooked.
Oh,
yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I just gotta steam them out in a pan, and still got the rice. I'll just microwave that. Think of some sauce to make, and it'll be almost as good as.
Let me know if you need
Fresh.
help finishing that up.
Okay, well,
Put that in the Dutch oven.
uh,
Cross culture.
yeah. Oh, so I got a Dutch oven as one of my wedding gifts, which is pretty sweet. Needed one of those. All right, let's move on to video games. What we have been playing. What's good, everybody? What you've been up to? Tyler, tell us about Bloodstained: Ritual of the Night.
Bloodstained. I've only been playing it for about 5 hours, but I'm already like
already beat the game
40%
once.
done.
You beat
I know,
the
I
game,
got-
broke the game.
It's been a really good game. I really enjoy. It's giving me that Hollow Knight
Is
feel and like itch, like it's scratching that itch.
Just discovering new things.
Discovering new things, like the power-ups that you get. I mean, obviously in this game you get way more power-ups, and shards is what they call them in Bloodstained, because it's very much like Castlevania. You get fight a bunch of demons, you get their powers. Each demon has different powers. It's kind of random when you get the powers, the shards.
Is it randomized?
Yeah, I think so.
Huh. Except for from bosses.
Yeah, bosses are.
Gotcha.
But I think you can technically get almost any enemy's powers that you encounter. Almost.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
can
pretty
drop as a
much.
shard.
Wow.
Yeah, like the little like bats that take like one hit, like they drop shards. And yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just random as to when they do drop a shard. And then the more shards that you have of a particular type, then like the stronger the spells become. And then you can upgrade your shards at the alchemist back at the village, and that kind of improves like how the spell works. So, for example, there's like a spell where you bring up a column of fire. You can upgrade it with certain materials, and now you'll summon 2 columns of fire. Upgrade it again, you'll summon 3 columns of fire. And so that's pretty cool.
So I also have been playing. I'm not nearly as far as him. I actually played about 45 minutes. I got through the first boss, But when you're saying shards, your character can have 5 equipped. Is that right?
Yeah, so you have a single shot shard, you have a directional shard, you have a passive shard, you have a familiar shard, and you have a conjuring shard, I think it's what it's called.
Okay.
And the conjuring shard, you'll like summon something. You hold down R1, and it stays with you until you release R1.
Oh wow.
And sometimes it'll like consume a lot of mana, depending on what the ability is. Sometimes it'll consume like a very little amount of mana as it stays out.
And so it'll stay. Can you do it like perpetually, or when you run out of mana, does it disappear?
If you run out of mana, it's gonna go away.
Okay, gotcha.
And the boss battles are really cool. All the areas in the game are really interesting. I was saying earlier how they are very generous, I think, with like how frequently they give you save points. I'm only playing it on normal difficulty, and it was kind of difficult at first, like being low leveled, and like the first boss fight and the second boss fight took me probably like 5 tries each to do. But then as you like start to craft armor and find new items and explore,
Get your hair cut.
yeah, you can get your hair cut.
That's neat.
You can take out books from the library that give you extra buffs.
Temporary or permanent?
Permanently for as long as you have the book out, but you don't have one book out at a time.
Oh, okay.
And then I think it increases later on how many books you can take out.
That's a strict ass library. One book at a time.
Yep.
Huh.
And then because there's like 12 or like 15 different books that you can choose from, but they all give different buffs. So depending on like how you want to play the game, if you want higher magic or higher defense or higher strength or things like that, and you'll pick a different book to take out and carry with you. And yeah, overall it's just a really good game.
Nice.
I'm definitely gonna complete it as much as possible, I think. We were all playing it earlier, and I beat a boss, kind of like one of the main antagonist of the game.
Jables from Tenacious D.
Yep. And I beat him, and it gave me a game over screen afterwards. So I assume there was something else that needs to be done.
Yeah, I mean, he's only like 43% map completion, and so we were all a little confused watching him play it. This was literally just previous to recording. But yeah, that's cool. It's a true return to form from the director of Castlevania Symphony of the Night, so it's neat to see that it worked out. It's available on everything, Switch, PS4, Xbox. Heard some mixed things from Anthony a few weeks ago about the Switch version, performance-wise.
But you broke the game as well earlier, too, which is cool.
Yeah,
you got the guy flying through the walls.
I broke the game twice now at 2 different parts of the game. One, there was like a time segment of the game, and there was a boss at the end, and I must have killed the boss, but it must have gotten stuck in like, so sometimes there's like these like weird like camera moves, like if a boss is doing a special attack or something like that.
You might have hit him on a certain frame.
Yeah, I might have like hit him on a wrong frame because I was able to keep hitting him. The boss wouldn't die. The damage counters kept showing up, but the countdown was still going. So once the countdown hit 0, it just gave me a game over screen.
That sucks. Well, at least
Did
did you have to do a lot of shit over again?
I mean, it wasn't a whole lot. I mean, I had to go through the same segment, but the next time I did it, it worked fine.
Gotcha.
That's good. Okay. At least they put the save points pretty well close to like bosses, so
Yeah.
we don't have to go too far. It's like one
Yeah,
room over
that is
pretty
nice.
much.
Yeah, usually a save point is usually within like 2 or 3 rooms of a boss.
Word.
And you'll really like it once you get a little bit farther into it, I think.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's got a super clean presentation. It seems like the abilities are super varied. I like the visual style of it. I'm thinking I'm gonna enjoy it a lot. I'm glad that you are, Tyler.
Thank you. Thanks for getting it.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, that was sort of we game share, and I was like, yeah. I was gonna ask him to split it with me, but I'll just get it and ask him to split Control with me, which I did. So we'll have impressions on Control next week.
Did you end up getting it? Is it out?
Yeah, I got it. I think it was just a little error that it said pre-order because it comes out today, and should have it downloaded tonight.
Nice.
So yeah.
Did you start downloading it?
I didn't because I just couldn't figure it out before I had to come down here and start
gotcha.
recording.
Because
God.
if you did start downloading it, it would download to my PlayStation.
I know we've tried. We've been over that. But while I'm going on one of my long rants shortly, you should open up the PlayStation app and start downloading it on my PlayStation. That would be sweet.
I don't think I could though because it's purchased under your name, so I would have to sign into.
Yeah.
Oh
your
yeah,
name, or-
gotcha.
yeah.
So then if he's signed in under his name, then wouldn't downloading it put it on yours rather than Tyler's?
Well,
Well,
no,
I-
because
Or just go to
technically his
closest?
PS4 is my primary. That's the whole reason this thing works.
Gotcha.
It doesn't make sense, but
The Xbox.
I know it's so hard to
it-
explain.
I was gonna say.
It runs a lot better on the Xbox, so like it'll download on both. Sometimes on the Xbox when you set it from to download from the app. So I'm not sure why the PS4 just downloads only the one. Maybe just because, like you said, the home console.
Yeah, it only downloads if you're down if you are using the app and you say download to my PS4, it's going to
downloads on
download
yours.
to the primary, whichever
Yeah.
the primary is.
cool.
But he can be on his PlayStation,
And play it.
signed into his name,
Mm-hmm.
and download it.
Right, but he has to be on the
Because-
actual console.
Well, it's because
Yeah.
the whatever is the main console is the primary holder of the license.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, okay. So it goes back to that.
Yeah, it goes back to that license.
Wish we had like a whiteboard.
Yes,
Like,
I see it right here. The
With the
license is
strings,
there.
like,
You need to be at least 16-year-old to get your driver's license, and then you take the test, and then you buy the video game.
Anthony, why don't you give us a quick Persona 5 minute or two? How you doing?
You'll never see it coming. I haven't beaten the game yet, but I'm really close. Really,
Been hearing that for
close.
what, 5 weeks now?
Mhm.
All right. well,
Technically, like what, 4 3 years running since it came out.
yes, and it's still the same file. That's nuts.
It's 100. I'm 139 hours in.
Okay.
Level 69 at the very bottom of the last dungeon. So you just got to go through that and then hopefully answer the questions right in the interrogation to get the true ending. And if I don't, I'm going to cry and just watch it on YouTube and then accept that I just did that.
I don't remember that if I got that correct or not. Knowing me, I probably paused it and looked it up, but I don't remember that.
I had to pause it a while before, and I'm glad I kind of did because I took like a sneak peek before because it hits like that moment is in November and the game doesn't truly end till like Christmas or Christmas Eve in game, and I paused it before that and I was like, it's like
In real life.
in real life, I was like, oh shit. And then it's like, oh, hey, major spoilers ahead. And I said, well, I'm already kind of close to it. So I looked down and then I read like a decent amount. And then I saw one thing that I didn't want to see. And I was like, oh, no. I was like, oh, I'll put that down. And we'll see. So I hope I did it right.
Cool. Anything else? Cooking around in Anthony's kitchen?
I made a sandwich today.
What kind?
I mean, oh, it was really good. I started using horseradish sauce.
Oh, I
my
love
God.
horseradish.
It's
It's the
so
shit.
good. I made it's like all natural roast beef, pepper turkey breast, a little bit of pepper jack cheese, 3 pickles, hearty garlic sauce, horseradish, a little bit of mayonnaise, and some honey mustard.
Wow, that is sauced up to the max.
And look, he drips
Sounds
sauce.
good.
I'm a sauce
You got
boy. It was
4 sauces on there?
Oh yeah.
Wow, okay.
It was
On what,
good.
a hoagie?
Oh yeah. Had a nice. I got the Big Y grinder rolls.
Hell yeah. Okay.
But yeah, that's pretty much all that's really cooking. That I haven't done anything else. Just doing the
did.
mobile game grind.
You picked up Legacy of the Duelist.
Did pick that up, waiting for to go home to play it.
So that's the new Yu-Gi-Oh game?
Mm-hmm. For the Switch.
Word.
I mean, it's not a new game though, is it? It's just a
A re-release.
Yeah,
release
because it's
for
been
it.
out on
Port.
Steam for years, and then they're just like, all right, we're gonna update it and like put it on the Switch. And it's been in my head for a little bit, and then Tyler came up to me at the wedding on Saturday and was like, hey, the new Yu-Gi-Oh game comes out for the Switch, and I was
That's what you
just
were
like,
talking about at the wedding?
yeah, and I was like, shit, you're right. And I was like, I know, I've been thinking about it. And he was like, check this channel out on YouTube, Shady Penguin, who does like, it's cool because they have like, it's like a draft mode, so it's like sealed packs you can buy with the in-game currency, and it just kind of puts you in a pool with like other players that are online playing, but it's like basically playing a draft, like a digital draft. So you all pool from like the same kind of pool of cards, but you get different packs, build a deck from those packs, and then fight the people with those cards.
Speaking of cards,
Mm-hmm.
I played a little game called Slay the Spire.
Yeah.
So I've really dove into this actually in the week leading up to the show that I missed. So it's been a little bit, so my memory's not totally clear on all the good parts. But so what it is, it's a roguelike deck building game where as you beat an enemy, you typically get a card to add to your deck, typically more interesting than the ones you start with. And the game just sort of, and you're climbing a tower. Each area has maybe 15 fights in it. There's some branching paths that you kind of have to choose. Do you want to go to the question mark or do you want to go to the treasure chest? Question mark could be really good, could be really bad. There's kind of a risk reward against, do you want to take on this elite enemy or do you want to take the safe route? And so you have, I think, 5 or 6 or 7 cards in your hand, depending on which character you choose to start. They're kind of, you just pick, they're randomly shuffled from your hand.
Do you only start with 7 cards and then build on top of that?
So that's you start with like 12 or something in your deck. I can't remember the exact amount, but then that's how many you have out to play. And so you have 3 energy starting out with, and cards take either 1, 0, or 2 energy. Some later ones take 3 or 4. And you're trying to use as many cards as possible. Some cards will do something like this card takes 0 energy, but you can only use it when the only attack cards, or you only have attack cards left in your hand. So it's like big damage, but you have to use all your either defense or your other stuff first.
Big risk, first reward kind of thing. Definitely adds that like layer of strategy to it that you get in card games.
Yeah, like the strategy is super deep, but as somebody that's not familiar with the genre, I found it very accessible too.
I've only heard great things about it. I have it on Steam, but I've yet to play it.
Dude, I want to get it on Switch, and even though I have it for free on Game Pass, because it's just such a great, it would be an awesome mobile game. Like it would work on a phone. It would be a little smaller screen than I would like for the text, but
I'm surprised they haven't put it on phone yet, because it did seem very accessible to for sit down quick play sessions.
Yeah, it might even be because they wouldn't get away with charging $24.99, which is the retail on it on phone, and it would be practically the same game.
Yeah,
that's just a theory.
That's true. Also, the size too. Some phones would be like, I mean, my phone can't handle more than like a gigabyte max game or like app.
I'm not sure how big it is, but so I was really into this. I had a few really good runs. I actually believe I got to the final boss with the warrior character, who's kind of like the starting out with one, and I got the boss down to like 1/5 health and then died, which was like pretty devastating. But also I was kind of like, well, now I'll keep playing.
Did you get like thrown right back to the beginning of like the whole adventure?
So
Did you choose a new character and everything?
So you can choose a new character. You do so you can upgrade cards at the what do you call them? The blacksmith or whatever you run into. So you can either upgrade or you can heal.
Okay.
So if you're doing really well, you're going to want to upgrade. And then in future runs, you have a better chance of having that upgraded card be gifted to you, or like acquiring it. So you do have some form of progression. There is also a section right on the main menu where it shows all the cards that you've unlocked. So, and as you level up your character, each character has 5 levels. You get 3 more cards introduced into the game that
cool.
are. So
keeps the pool growing, and then when you get the upstate, like say you're doing one run, you upgrade like a couple cards, then you die. Do those upgraded cards stay in your pool permanently?
I believe that they stay. That there is now a chance that they will pop up, that you'll just get the upgraded card right off the bat.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't think it's every time.
Okay, well that's good at least. So it's not like if
it would get easy if everything was upgraded.
Yeah, that's true. Especially if you have this small pool and you kind of stay with that for a bit.
Yeah, but I really had a lot of fun with it, and it was good because if I wasn't in the mood for something where I had to give it a lot of thought, and I was able to just relax, kind of take my time, choosing my turns. And so I'll definitely be getting back into that. And
that sounds amazing. I definitely might start it then once Persona 5 is over. I got a plethora I want to go through, but definitely want to check this one out.
Yep, and it's free on Xbox Game Pass. That's the only reason that I am playing it. I mean, I would consider buying it because I like it so much on Switch. So yeah, that's Slay the Spire. What about you, Kenny?
So I've been playing Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem 3 Houses
Yes.
for Nintendo Switch. Tell me about it.
Wow, so I've thrown in a total of 17 hours so far. 17 hours, and the story's kind of picking up pace, and got questions in regards to some of the angles. I'm not trying to spoil anything. I know Anthony hasn't played much of it, so
I forget, what house did you choose?
I chose the Golden Deer.
Okay,
nice.
So I like the banter with the house leader, Claude. He's a
charming boy.
A lot of great communication. So I like that. I've finally recruited a couple other people
Nice.
the cause. So
That was the big decision you made
which one?
from your first playthrough. What you decided to do? You hit the
Yes.
Fire Emblem Rock. Some would say.
I did hit the Fire Emblem Rock. So everybody knows when I first started it, I started it with permadeath.
Oh.
And I just couldn't. I was struggling with the fact that people were dying, and I refused to. And I was the rewind helps. The rewinding of time helps, but it's limited.
Yeah. Well, of course.
So I went into a battle, and I hadn't done my usual RPG grind. So I was under level. So it was level 15 level 15 enemies, and I think only two of my guys were like 15 or 16. Everybody else were like 7 or 8. So they were mowing down.
It was just a slaughter.
It was a slaughter. I was leading them into a slaughter. And
What am I doing?
I was like, no.
I'm the worst teacher.
No. Oh my God! I think one of my healers, Marianne, she got slaughtered.
Immediately.
Immediately, they ripped into her. I was like, no.
Marianne, you get an F. You're also dead. I'm
I
sorry.
was like, I don't have a healer anymore. She was my healer on the field.
Oops.
Okay.
So restarted it from the beginning without permadeath.
Really, the whole game?
I do not
At
blame
least
you.
at that point in time, I was 4 hours in only. But I was taking it slower, so I was like, I actually flew through those 4 hours because I had already done I already knew what I was doing. Flew through those 4 hours, did a lot of my RPG grind to the point where like some of the battles I'm going into are like level 17 enemies, and my whole class is level 25 or 26, and I was like, maybe I exaggerated a little bit with the grinding.
Okay.
But
So you can't turn off permadeath mid-game?
I didn't even check.
Because you're just there already gone. You can't bring them back.
I don't think you can change it
Yeah.
mid-game. I think you have to start like a whole new
Yeah, I
thing,
think
which is
so.
kind of annoying. But I mean,
Maybe
it's worth it for those units.
Yeah, they're definitely worth it.
My waifus.
No.
I need them to be alive.
I mean, what happens if everybody dies? Or they just randomly generate you some more students?
That's a good question.
That's a good question, actually.
In the old ones, you could definitely screw yourself because they were just kind of like, oh, well,
Now
that's
there's
your
just
fault.
3 of you, and there's
Exactly.
82 demons over there.
Yeah,
Have fun.
and honestly, I'm glad I switched out of permadeath because when I hit the rock, I hadn't even started fighting the demonic beasts. Yeah, and these things have like 3 health bars to run through,
Dang.
That's
and they
insane.
hit for a crazy amount of damage.
Ugh.
So I'm like, holy shit.
Are there ways you can go out and grind? Like, can you?
Yes, so there's battles that don't use activity points.
Ooh.
So you could kind of just repeat a lot of those battles.
That's okay, good. I feel
that
a lot
don't
better
use
now.
activity points, so just grind it out.
That's
Word.
good. I was getting a little worried. I'm like, shit, I really hope I have a chance to go back and grind.
No, you'll be able to grind because once a week, once in the calendar week, you get a chance to decide what you're gonna do: explore, take a seminar, rest, or battle. So I kind of do explore first to start the month, get the missions for the month out the way. Then I do battle the following week. Maybe go back to explore just to get the motivation of my students back up. So then, because you have to instruct them every week as well.
Huh.
So you instruct them to raise up certain like their abilities, their proficiency in certain which ability you want them to excel at. So I've already kind of had a couple of my characters go up. A couple of students go up in classes.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yep,
That's
so
awesome.
they'll change classes as well and gain abilities and gain strength or stats. So one of my waifu girls went from just a simple axe wielder to a wyvern rider.
Nice. Which one?
Her name is Hilda
Ooh, no, I think.
from the Golden Deer.
Hell, okay. No, I'm thinking I think that's Teresa or whatever with the cap, the singer. That's
Yes.
the Black
Yep.
Eagles.
Yep. So Hilda in Golden Deer, she's a wyvern rider now. And she's OP because also I did one of her side missions. So you have to recruit students to be able to unlock their paralog missions. Those are what the side missions are called. And I did hers, and she actually got a hero relic. And she was like, "Oh, I'll only use it if you want me to." I'm like, "Yes, you are using it. You're OP with this."
Is a hero relic? Is that how you upgrade classes?
No,
or-
the hero relic are like special weapons that you need special material to repair it.
Okay.
So it's like relics from the houses or the relics that only certain people can use because of their crest.
Oh, okay.
Their blood
yeah,
crest.
their royalty. Yep.
Yep. So She has that, and now she is ridiculous.
That's awesome.
Like, she hits for like almost 48 damage a piece. Like, I send her off against demonic beast, and like
That's
she
a
mows
lot,
them down.
apparently.
It is a lot because some people's health is only 30. Like some of the enemies' health is 31 HP. That's it.
That's
So
awesome.
she's wiping them out in one hit.
But are you gonna have to like go back and try to repair that soon? Because
Yes.
you said it's like. And is it harder to repair?
That hero relic durability is only 20.
Ooh.
So it, like, every time she uses it, it like goes down by 1 point. And if she uses its combat art, it goes down by 5.
Whoa.
So almost after every battle, I have to repair it, and it takes so much materials.
Yeah. Oh, that is scary. That's kind of cool though. That's a nice way to balance the
Like, keep
resources you have.
because then I sometimes find myself like, all right, it's, I'm grinding, so let me make her just use a steel axe this battle.
Yeah.
So she's
And
not.
they can get proficiency in that too, right? Like the more they use it, the better they get
The
with
more
it.
they use it, the better they get at it. So, and then you have to get better at these proficiencies so they can pass their certification test for the classes. That's how they go up in classes.
This game is a lot.
It is a lot. It is a lot.
From
that's
one
why,
persona to the next.
Yep, that's
Yeah,
why I've
seriously,
invested
it sounds
17
so
hours.
Persona influence from what you described.
Even the main character looks almost like scarily
Like Joker.
yeah.
Really?
Kind
Yeah.
of.
Byleth, until he undergoes his change. He undergoes a change. I made it that far in the story. Spoilers.
Question: do we see Marth, Roy, and all those folks?
No, I haven't seen them.
Ooh,
No?
good DLC though. Opportunity.
That
they did
would
that
be.
with the first 3DS game. They had
Okay.
paralog missions. You go and you met the heroes,
Huh.
and then you got them.
Because like I've really never played a Fire Emblem game, so I've been playing Smash Brothers since 20 years now, and just always been curious what their role in the games are. Like, do you play as them? I know you don't play as them, but so I'll find out.
You will.
You don't have to tell me.
That was our first exposure was Melee. We got Roy and
Yep.
Marth, and that was the first ones. And then we got the first Fire Emblem, which has, I forget who it has. I know Marth wasn't until like Shadow Dragon, I think. Don't quote me. I'm probably wrong anyway. But Shadow Dragon was on the DS.
Yeah, and when Melee was out, when it first came out, people were like, I don't know who this guy is, but if you hold B the whole long time,
Yep.
he'll one-hit KO you.
Is exactly that was my train of thought entirely. I was like, oh, he's a cool anime boy with his sword.
I
I
remember
like it.
trying to get this timing down on his side B.
It's so rough.
Yeah,
It was-
I think it's easier nowadays than it was in Melee, maybe.
I think so.
Yeah.
It definitely the timing feels a lot better now because I went back to Melee and tried to do it. I was like, I am not good at this game.
I was at Walmart the other day and I almost bought the GameCube controller.
Yeah.
Just for it, and I think I will someday.
Shit, well, you want to play? I'll bring it over.
Oh, you have one?
Mhm.
Oh, nice. Let's see. Who did I hear was gonna? Oh yeah. Who do you think is gonna be the next Smash DLC revealed character? Little break in the action.
Ooh, that's
I saw somewhere say it was going to be a female character.
Whoa.
I can't remember where it came from, but
hot.
I heard a theory that I like, and it relates to one of our news stories coming up.
What is it?
Tracer from Overwatch.
That's interesting.
Because
Wow.
they did almost just leak Overwatch coming to the Switch.
Yeah, so there's like a very official looking case that was leaked on Amazon that was shortly taken down. That was like an Overwatch carrying case. Why would there be an Overwatch carrying case without there being Overwatch on the Switch, especially if it was like an officially licensed product? So
Crazy
yeah,
Blizzard is about that. That'll be cool though. That'll be.
I think that would be something
I'd like that.
might get me back in. I don't know if I want to
Would it
spend
get you back
40
in,
bucks
Tyler?
again. Yeah, I was gonna ask you.
I doubt it.
You doubt it?
No, just because
You hit
all-
that hard.
All of my Overwatch playing was on PC, and I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
think I could really go from playing on PC to playing on console.
Well, even playing on the Switch, which is like, not going to run as well as on a PlayStation.
Yeah. Exactly.
But what if your account transfers over?
It doesn't. It
doesn't?
won't.
No,
I mean, there's no
that's
way
so
Nintendo's going to do
disappointing.
that.
No,
I do
but
wanna play
don't-
that
But
again.
don't
It's
you
been a
log
hot
in?
minute.
Don't you log into your BattleNet account?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
I
so
mean,
your
yeah, you
account
do.
might.
Your account
But the
definitely.
game.
Maybe it does like it segregates
mean-
to the Switch.
I'm more so saying that I wouldn't play it on a console because of how precise like playing on a PC is
Yeah.
compared to like using analog.
That's fair.
It was
I could
interesting.
see
Well,
that.
If you got an Xbox, you could play with a mouse and keyboard.
Really?
Yep.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Did you know that they changed competitive now? So now you have to have 2 attacks, 2 supports, and 2 tanks.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
Oh.
a big change
I did
because
see that.
people were apparently the game was getting busted because people were just running 3 tanks and 3 support. Is that it? Support and tank?
Yeah.
And it was just boring. Like people weren't pulling off headshots, and it was like nobody was really even dying very much.
Yeah, it was a change for pace of game gameplay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
The
whole
pacing,
community
the
seemed
pacing
fucking
was just
wacky.
horrible in competitive matches because of the 3 tanks, 3 supports.
Yeah, that sounds boring. So I'm glad they
Yeah.
changed that up.
Yeah, it seems like everybody's happy with that change, like all the pros and casual players, and seems like everybody likes it.
Yeah, and I wonder if that is available in the casual playlist or not. Like,
Yeah, they said they were
yeah,
gonna
I think
roll
so.
it out.
oh, did they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
So that everybody can get used to the feel of competitive play. They just want to make it just across the board.
That's cool.
I like that. Yeah, that was a game where I put in a lot of hours. I mean, but not compared to most people, like maybe 20, 25. And I would go back. I would go back at some point.
We had that really fun.
So we were
interaction.
totally not even in the news, but go ahead.
Oh no, it was just we played with Tyler once when I first got into Overwatch. Me and him were playing once, and I convinced a group of kids that I was like 12 turning 13 next week, because they're like, oh, so I was like, it's my birthday, I'm 12 turning 13 next week, and they're like, oh, happy birthday, and I said we need more dedicated wham because the servers wanted too low, and then nobody said anything after that, and I was just like, nobody gets it.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was my interaction with it.
wham.
You know what dedicated wham is? The server's bad.
That's funny. Okay, anybody got any other games they've been playing, or can we move on? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
I think we're good.
Getting wedding flashbacks.
Okay, yeah, I will say just real quick, played some Mortal Kombat 11. And,
You relapsed.
I relapsed. Well, back into the MK hole.
I'm
I love
gonna
that term.
I'm gonna say that when Tyler was giving his speech, right, and he mentioned if he weren't getting married today, he'd be inside playing Mortal Kombat,
Getting fatalities.
getting fatalities. I was about to say losing a canny. Like it's his day. I'm not gonna ruin it.
Thank you for that, although it still would have been funny.
Oh man.
So yeah, I played a shitload of Scarlet because I was grinding to get the. End up in the top 10% of the Towers of Time. Now you unlock the Johnny Cage announcer pack, which sounded like a good time. So I spent a few hours doing that. So when I get home, it resets on Tuesdays, so it's gonna be perfect.
You better know next week. You better let us know.
Yeah,
Cliffhanger.
I will. All right, now it is time for. Cruising for Newsin'. All right. It's the time of the show where we pick up some stories from the interwebs, we throw them on a page, and we read them to you so you can stay informed. All right, so first on the docket, speaking of Mortal Kombat, NetherRealm Studios released the DLC trailer showcasing the following characters, followed by their respective release dates, and here they are. Terminator T800 version, October 8th, 2019. Sporting Arnold's likeness, but not his voice, as we have learned.
Yes. I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take it. I mean, if they got the voice, that would have been sweet, hearing him do his little banter with all other 20 whatever characters. But, there are a lot of people that can do a pretty good Arnold.
There's a lot of good Arnold impersonators out there.
Yeah, so I wouldn't. I'm excited to see like the skins, like there's the whole young versus old. That we're gonna get like the Terminator 1, like in the buff, right where he comes out.
Yep.
That would be sweet.
He's gonna come out naked.
Yeah, there's gonna be there's got to be a T1. I don't know. Will they do the flat out all different Terminators? We'll see.
That'll be interesting.
They more for the crypt.
Yeah, they'll do like remnant versions where it's just like straight up looking like the machine.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
More items for the crypt to unlock. They can throw them in there.
Yeah, totally. I mean, each character's got like 40-some skins. So
Holy crap.
Yeah.
They can get creative. So after Terminator T800, we got Sindel coming November 26th. The only Mortal Kombat classic character. You want to give her backstory again?
No, I won't give her backstory.
No?
They know it.
Okay. And then we got Joker. That's the Batman Joker coming January 28th, 2020.
I saw some pretty good memes of like Persona Joker coming to Mortal Kombat.
Oh, really?
That just clicked with me. I was like, huh, yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been amazing.
That would have been. And then finally, not coming until March next year. Holy shit, that's a long time. Spawn.
Yes, it is. I swear to God, they're milking the game. They're milking it.
They're milking it, but
They must be doing a good job.
I mean, so what we got? October 8th, that's a month and a half away.
Yep.
Not terrible. It seemed farther away when I first heard it. I was like, damn, that's like Halloween. I was like, okay, that's not that far. And then Sindel, a month and a half later.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, okay, she'll be who I play when I'm eating my turkey. And then we got Joker. And then I already said this. Okay. So who's your favorite out of these four? Who gets you most?
Spawn, of course. And
Okay.
of course, he's the last one.
Well,
to
for me,
roll
it's
out.
Terminator. I've always been a big, as a kid, I was kind of like my big, oh yeah, Terminator 2, best action movie ever.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I don't think I've seen a single Terminator. Very
What?
familiar with the property, but I haven't seen it. Same with RoboCop. I really want to watch RoboCop.
I actually have never watched that front to back either.
I saw like the opening when I was little and kind of scared me because there's one scene in the beginning where this like guy walks into this room and he just lights up this room of dudes and it's just all like blood. It's like 80s blood, so it's like
Yeah.
But I was just like, oh no.
Too much for this boy.
I was just like, oh. But yeah, I definitely want to watch. I should have a Terminator movie night.
Yeah, dude. I would honestly watch. The first one is so good, and the second, like, they're totally different. Like, it's kind of the difference between the original Alien and Aliens. Have you seen those?
Scared, man. I'm bad with movies. You know this.
Yeah, I do. Well,
Let's get drunk and watch them.
so the first one is very sort of like horror focused. I mean, more so Alien, and just smaller scale, very intense, low budget, but still awesome. And then the sequels, because of the success, were like bombastic action movies with lots of machine
more budget.
guns and special effects. So both excellent. So yeah, I guess that's really all there is to say about it, unless you wanted to add anything, Kenny.
Honestly, I think they still have one more DLC character they haven't announced.
Not from this combat pack.
Yeah, this combat pack, we still have one more that is going ghost right now. No announcement.
Danny Phantom.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, there is.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
Well,
It'll be interesting who it is, but we'll get them in like June or something. Something
and then we're
ridiculous.
assuming there'll be another combat pack, right?
So what I'm thinking is that they'll drop Combat Pack 2 July-ish, milk it until the next gen consoles, and drop a XL
Edition.
the Ultimate Edition.
Tis the way of the fighting.
Which is
I'm
what
cool with it.
which is what Warner Bros is what Warner Bros Studios is trying to do with it. That's what I'm thinking. From my understanding, it's not even NetherRealm that wants the DLC characters spaced out like that.
Oh, really? Well,
Profit, I mean, it makes sense. Keep the buzz up.
and it is interesting that like two of these at least are tied in with movie releases. Terminator, we got that New Fate or whatever it's called coming out then, and then the Joker movie. I don't know if it's coming out then exactly, but there is going to be a new Joker movie.
Nope.
And is there a new Spawn thing?
So they're in development with a new Spawn movie, yes, but it's not coming
But
out.
it's not
next
coming
year.
out then. Okay. All right. So moving on from that, Anthony, you added this story about Dragon Quest XI.
Oh, yeah.
Why don't you just run down?
The Nintendo ended up releasing a couple days ago a 10-hour Dragon Quest XI demo on the Switch, which you can download. I think that's really cool that the demo is actually like 10 hours. Apparently, it goes right from the beginning of the game and it stops about where you get your fourth party member. So I think the two Serena
sisters.
and Veronica and Serena.
That's a solid amount.
That's a lot, yeah, because that's a lot of gameplay in there. And then if you download it, they were offering another thing where you get a special spirit for Smash Bros. So if you have the demo data on your Switch, you get that if you play Smash Bros. And then even when the game comes out for full console release in about, I think maybe less than a month now, you can transfer your save data over,
Yeah. Well, that's
which is great.
yeah. Why would you want?
There's
to
no
play
point
it
in
if
playing a 10-hour demo. You can't transfer that progress.
Yeah. Well, that's neat.
Yeah, it kind of leads me to believe it's like so. Just like what happened. You remember way back when the Crash Bash demo got released, that the whole game was on the disc, and it was a little buggy, but the whole game was there. So maybe like this is the whole game, but like.
But they're just gonna flick a button. It'll be
Yeah,
like now
exactly.
it's on.
So hackers, I'm going to predict like maybe somebody will probably crack something in the somewhat future that'll be like, oh yeah, the whole game was here the whole time. You downloaded it, but because you can't do 2D mode in the demo, you can't switch
Can
from
you on
the
PS4?
orchestrated.
No.
No, you can't. This is totally new for Switch, which was weird because the original release, which I was a little upset about when I first bought the PS4 version, was the original Japanese release. You could do both because you could go from 2D to 3D. Because then anyway, I guess that makes sense because the original release of Dragon Quest XI was on the 3DS. So it came out on 3DS first. They had the 3D modes on there and the 2D mode. Then they did the HD upscaling to
Did
PS4.
it have voice acting on 3DS?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean,
It's a lot to fit on.
it's
there.
a lot to put on a cartridge. Yeah,
Yeah.
especially basically 2 separate games.
But yeah, I mean, especially to have it play on a 3DS.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. And I see this little bullet point here, which I just noticed. New full orchestrated soundtrack replaces the MIDI versions.
Yeah, there's. I honestly didn't mind the MIDI versions. I thought. What did you think, Tyler? Because now you.
I didn't mind the MIDI versions.
Yeah.
I think the full orchestral soundtrack would probably be a little bit nicer.
It sounds
but-
really good. It's very like you can tell the horns kind of like are way more resonating, and it's got like a deeper tone to it. And what did you think of the soundtrack so far?
So in the MIDI version, like,
Yeah.
I think it's good. It kind of makes you feel a little warm and fuzzy a little bit.
Mhm,
Feel like-
same.
Yeah.
It's like the nostalgic like home cooking feeling.
Yeah. So it's the nostalgia thing is to its favor, but I will say that it's too repetitive. Whenever there's like a new song, because they are usually really good. Like if I'm fighting a boss and it's a cool piece of music, I'm like, oh, I wish I could hear this a few more times instead of going back to.
Yep,
Yeah, like-
I agree.
So much, and just the battle theme of. I mean, it's a good battle theme, but I guess that's a common thing
Yeah.
for all JRPGs. But no, I think it's good, and I think this will probably end up being much better.
For sure.
I wonder if you can like download a patch on. Is this literally exclusive to the Switch?
Yeah, it's exclusive to the Switch version. That's what I was curious too, because I think we talked about this a long time ago. That is the PS4 version. The people who have it on there, are they going to get any kind of updates or any like free patches? Like, hey, we just released the definitive version for Switch, but
Yeah.
are we going to get the option? Because these are all just options. Like, you can go in the menu, you can switch on and mid-eye on and off at any point to switch
you
it with the
can?
orchestral in the full release of the Switch. Full release of the Switch version, you can go between 2D and 3D at any point. So, I mean, I don't see why not, but, I mean, then again, they also did have to, like, scale down a bunch of resolution and stuff for the Switch. But it still looks really good from what I've seen from
I know they
gameplay.
might have been like, hey, if you put Hero in our game, we'll only give you this stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
There's probably some
Definitely a
tit for tat going on.
joint there.
I'm wondering if I think that like all like longer JRPGs or RPGs should do something like this. Give you 5 to 10 hours of free gameplay just to try the game out, because you're going to be playing 90 more hours.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
I mean, I think it would be a pretty smart marketing scheme
For a lot of games.
for a lot of games that are that longer
I agree.
longer form.
I
Yeah.
think that'd be good.
I mean, demos in general are, if they can end up, I guess, being bad for a game, but they're usually good. And yeah, having it be extended like that, I think, is a cool idea.
Well, yeah, especially if save data transfers over. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're
so you're
able
not
to put in
losing.
5 to 10 hours on a demo, and then you're like, okay, I really like this. I want the whole game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Pay $60 for it.
And for all the digital buyers, it'll probably be, if you're already loading most of the game onto it already with the demo, buying it digitally, just, we need this little part, boop, you got your game.
I think it's pretty smart.
Pretty smart. All right, moving on. We had the release of World of Warcraft Classic, the little PC game you might have heard about. MMO came out in 2004.
It's blowing up. It's
blowing up.
Love it.
Yeah, so I looked at Twitch last night, and there was over 500. Apparently, there was over 1 million people watching at one point. But
That's crazy.
Last night there was
Wow.
500,000, and the next was Fortnite at 125,000. So like streamers be streaming this,
Oh, yeah.
and it seems to be a big hit. I don't
Do you
know.
think Ninja would ever stream it?
On Mixer? I don't know. I could see. I don't know if that's really his type of game. He's more like shooters. Or but didn't he play Minecraft too?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Ninja. Let us know in the comments.
If you want more views, you should stream Classic WoW. It's all the rage.
So yeah, I mean, pretty cool. I like the idea of this. This is sort of the first online, well, that I know of, online game that has transformed so much over the years, and now is having a renaissance, kind of in its early form. I
guess you could kind of say like RuneScape sort of did
they?
a similar thing where
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
they
did.
upgraded a lot, and then they had like a big surge like back onto RuneScape Classic. I mean, RuneScape Classic, I think it always existed, but I think there was like a time period where just a bunch of people went back to RuneScape Classic to play.
okay.
'Cause
So
when they released
I was
2
wrong. It's already happened.
But it's
But
with anything-
RuneScape was never as big as
Wow.
WoW.
No,
So.
but
Yeah.
I've heard of it.
very accessible. But yeah, that's crazy. I never got I was very into WoW for like a very like a year or so in my life, and I loved it. But I got into it as like right before and then right after the big change came to the World and Cataclysm, the third expansion. And that's when they changed the whole world up and they added new classes. And I thought that was cool, mainly because I was still like in the honeymoon phase with the game. So I was just like, oh, this is so cool. And it did suck that I had to rememorize all the locations because everything was different now. And I was like, oh, this is kind of dumb, but it's cool. I can be a goblin or a werewolf.
Yeah, I had gotten into it right at Wrath of the Lynch King.
Yeah.
So got into it, Wrath of the Lynch King. I went in and it was just bonkers for me. First time I've ever experienced something like this. You know,
There's nothing quite like an MMO.
And then my friends who played it before, like had already been playing it for a while, they were like, "Oh, you got to join a PvP server." So then I didn't know what I was going into.
Oh, no.
So I was getting just
But you have to agree to a duel, right?
hunted down. No.
And oh, that's right, because on PvP, anybody who sees you can pretty much come up to you and be like,
Yes, just come up to you from the Alliance faction and I was Horde. Me and my Blood Elf.
there you go. Yeah, Blood Elves are sick.
Blood Elf Paladin.
Oh, yeah,
what I
that's...
went with.
I feel you. That's what I did. I did Blood Elf and I did Night Elf.
Okay.
I did Night Elf first and then Blood Elf after.
So do you guys know how the what's the word I'm looking for? How do you pay for it? Is it still subscription?
So I know at one point in time they came to a point where you can pay for it with in-game gold, while also with your subscription to Game Time. So they give you if you're somebody that has tons of gold and you've been playing for ages and you don't know what to use your gold for, you could just use your
use
gold.
it for Classic?
Yeah. Or your subscription in general.
Your subscription, yeah.
Okay, but is this, so for the people that are still playing Modern WoW, do they get this included for free? Or is it a separate thing?
My understanding it's an expansion, so you gotta buy it.
It's probably
really?
a separate. I mean, it might if it's the Blizzard servers. I'm sure if you already have an account and you're paying for your subscription, I'm sure you can probably play this the same. Since it's literally just reset of the game like to before any expansions.
But you don't have to do it. It's opt in. Like yeah. So like
Yeah.
I mean, I have no clue either. I don't know
Yeah,
if it's like
If
separate.
don't quote me, but I could have sworn I saw that you could purchase Classic, WoW Classic.
So it's probably a separate game you have to buy on your own for sure. But
So
like, I'm
not
sure if you have an
100%.
account,
Yeah.
if you're already paying for a subscription, I really hope they wouldn't double charge you,
Yeah,
especially if you're already
true.
playing. You know, I'm already subscribed to WoW, but it's like, oh, just download the original client since it's such a different game.
Well, most likely it's just that they patched it in and just it's a server, and they most likely have another like
I'm gonna
50
I'll have to check this
because
out.
you know how they have the regions. They might just
Yeah.
have US
You're
US
right.
Classic. You know,
I gotta go back
Classic
and check this out. I missed that old title screen.
I might just install my BattleNet and just check it out and just log in and check out the servers.
you should do it.
Yeah, it's looking like I'm looking online. It is just a separate server to your WoW subscription.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it's
good.
most likely something called Classic US.
So
or
say if
Classic,
I'm a new person and I want to experience WoW because I missed out on it, what do I do?
You can actually play free until level 20. So you can just make an account and you don't have to give any payment info, but you play up until your character hits level 20. And then it's like, hey, you reach level 20. You got
fork it over, bud.
Yeah, fork it over. Give me the, come on.
And
You gotta give me
actually-
the money if you want to continue.
So if you do Classic for the first 20 levels, or you do just where they're at up until now, I think they have it open. Before it used to be just the first 2 expansions up until level 20. Now you can do, I think, up to like the 4th or 5th expansion up until level 20. So you could start as a panda, I think, from levels 2
Oh,
until
yeah,
20.
that's right, because the different races.
Are the graphics like 2004 graphics? Are they?
Well, for Classic, I haven't seen.
You haven't seen? Okay.
So I haven't
Maybe.
checked that out. I was gonna try and catch a stream today because I saw people streaming, but I would assume if they're going for the nostalgia feel, they're gonna go
Yeah.
back at least the slightly old graphics, but with some
Original
better render.
game, kind of like if they have
Yeah.
the source code still, just slap that.
My PC or like my computer is an iMac like 2015. Do not play games on it, but maybe it could run it. I don't know.
You should be able to
Yeah,
run
you
it.
might be able to.
Yeah.
Just fine. Like on not
Max
above,
settings.
not max settings.
Yeah.
I saw only one time somebody running WoW on max settings. It was my boy Danny, and he was running on max settings, and I was like, wow.
Did you have a bunch of like all those plugins too? Because then you can get those like overlays. It's like,
Oh,
my
yeah.
hotkeys.
Yeah. Yeah, and I did a lot. I messed around a lot with the overlay. So when I got into it, he was like, he's been on WoW since WoW came out.
Wow.
So he is,
Wow.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
he met
Wow.
people on WoW, like became friends with them, like sometimes still talk.
They got a
sometimes.
tattoo. It says "Mom" when you flip it upside down.
Craziness. So he was like, oh yeah, you need this. all these add-ons. So I'm like like.
It's all like Curse brand too.
Oh my god, I was like adding all my add-ons, and I got real nice to the point where I like had everything organized. My backpack I hit the backpack key, one backpack because of my add-on, like the loot one. It was so many add-ons that so much going on at once on the screen, but I understood it.
Yeah,
and it made life easier.
Exactly.
As well.
Until you don't play it for a month and then try to come back to it, and then you're like, I'm so overwhelmed.
The one that helped track your quest easier, like Quest Tracker. Wow, when the add-ons were.
I'm getting all these memories now.
You're telling me, man. You're telling me.
I don't know that I would want to pay $13 a month though for it.
Yeah, that's.
Isn't it about the same for Final Fantasy 14?
Yeah.
Probably, but I don't know if I want to pay any subscription for a game.
Yeah, same. I can't dedicate enough time to Persona 5. I can't dedicate it to an MMO as much as I want to.
I would. Honestly, if I had a gaming PC, I'd be in WoW.
Yeah, well.
I'd be here coming every week talking, what you play this weekend? WoW.
I did the new daily. I got my cool dragon when I was a panda. I remember that one. That was the big daily for when Mr. Pandaria came out.
My God, I grinded that so badly, and I got the serpent dragon.
That's some dedication.
Our next story. We got some news. It's kind of a bummer, and I'm still trying to fully understand it, but the Nintendo eShop in the UK and Europe will no longer accept credit card purchases on 3DS and Wii U starting in September 2019. It says it instructs users who wish to make purchases to create a Nintendo account, add funds to it with a credit card via the website, and then use those funds to make purchases either online or via the eShop or on either system. Pre-purchased Nintendo eShop cards will also still function. And then, just to clarify a little bit, it goes on, this is possibly a response to the EU Payments Services Directive, which went into effect in January of last year and has a deadline in September of this year. The directive, intended to prevent credit card fraud, requires more personal info or security checks from the purchaser than just the basic credit card information in order to make a card purchase online. So I think you can read this as one of two ways. One thing is that it really is just a response to that, and the other is that Nintendo is
slowly trying to
pull the plug.
Yep.
Yeah, and I feel like this is way
agree.
too soon.
I think with the Wii U, they're definitely long gone. I know they took Netflix off the Wii U already. They took a couple streaming services off the Wii U, which I was surprised about. But I mean, I think they're trying to treat it like their Virtual Boy of this generation. They're just like, all right, we'll put you.
What about the 3DS?
That's what I'm saying. That is what I also don't understand. I think, but there also is a little bit of a tight spot there because their Switch, at least in my mind too, the Switch has also almost, for me at least, replaced my 3DS. I mean, it doesn't have all my great 3DS titles on it.
Well, the Switch Lite will.
Yeah.
But that's still not the point. It's still like what? It's 100 million 3DSs. Maybe it was. Yep. I don't know. That's a guess. But
But if people are thinking portable Nintendo, they're going to go right to Switch now.
Totally. But I mean.
So my question is this only the Nintendo eShops for the UK and Europe, right?
Right now.
Right now.
Yes. So
and I understand that it's because of the directive passed, trying to limit credit card fraud to make it to kind of bypass all of that. So this is Nintendo's response to that. But are we talking like, is this what you think is going to happen across the board?
It's speculation at this point.
Right?
So yeah, I mean, it's just me saying, or it's just at least me thinking that it's proof that online purchases really aren't permanent. I mean, it's something that we are all kind of coming to terms with over the years. I mean, will you still have your iTunes library in 15 years? I don't even know if you still do. If you bought an album in 2003 on it, I'll have to look that up. But that's why I'm always hesitant to buy digital, even though I've started doing it more so.
Same.
But there's just that feeling of like, think about 10 years down the road when I boot up my system, I want to be able to play the game that I bought.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to have to rely on some server that could possibly already be down somewhere.
And I don't know
corruption.
I don't know the cost to operating a place like that, but like the 3DS one bugs me because there was a successful system, and a lot of these games, you shouldn't have to like do a little workaround to buy them. You've been able to buy them like that for going on 10 years now. So, like I said, I could be overreacting, but I don't think it's cool, Nintendo, if you have nefarious plans in mind.
It.
Yeah, if you just want me to have to buy all the shit over again when you port it over to the
Oh,
Switch.
that's yep. I don't know why I didn't even. Yep, that's probably what they're gonna. Damn it, Nintendo! Come on, man.
You bastards.
Because we'll buy it.
Well, from my understanding, wouldn't you have to? Because
That's what they had to do for the Wii U as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I bought Paper Mario probably a total of 3 times.
No, of course. Yeah, I'm not saying that they should transfer over the game, but I just still want to be able to the option to play it on the 3DS.
I would personally want them to transfer over the game.
Yes,
that's why I don't buy anything digital on the Nintendo, because right now, my understanding, none of the games transfer over.
Yeah.
I have no problem buying things on the Xbox because look at my 360 games keep pop up every time they were becoming backwards compatible. They were popping up in my digital library ready to install. So I was able to install 20 games just because they got added to backwards compat. So for me, buying digital and knowing that Scarlet is gonna be backwards compatible.
Yes, she is.
Every generation.
Make no teeth.
Knowing that it's gonna be backwards compatible, I feel perfectly fine with at least the Xbox.
You see what you're doing, Philly Spence? You're making people feel warm and fuzzy inside with your decision making.
I'm the only Xbox guy here, you know. Team Xbox.
Gotta play more.
Yeah, you gotta get that. Oh, you already have Slay the Spire. Okay, never mind. All right, so our next story is a sad one. GameStop laid off 100 people across various stores. GameStop owns Game Informer, which is kind of the last bastion of physical media as far as gaming journalism goes. They laid off 7 editors out of the 18. I personally listen to the Game Informer show every week, or at least partially, because the way they do the podcast is kind of unlike any other show. It's very focused, and it's very, like, they'll have 2 or 3 editors on a time. Then they'll clap out, and somebody else will come out and talk about something else, and then we'll have an interview. I think they do a really nice job with it, and
Very segmented.
Yes, it's segmented, and it's entertaining. It's not like as goofy as like a Giant Bomb or kind of funny, but like they still make it. There's levity. So anyway, I think it's a really good show, and it's a shame because a lot of the people that I listen to it are now unemployed. So best goes out to them. They are continuing with it for now. I mean, like, I just listened to the most recent show. They had Andy McNamara on it, who's like the founder. He's been there since the either late 80s or early 90s. And, he's obviously very broken up about it. And they're like kind of just in the we'll wait and see phase,
Yeah.
So, yeah, what do we think this means for GameStop in general? Do they have a fighting chance? Is it just a clock ticking away?
I think we're in a very kind of, I can't think of the right word for it, but it's like a transition period with this. With GameStop, it's been brought up a lot. Like, it's basically like the Netflix versus Blockbuster kind of thing. It's like,
yes,
I'm going to physically buy my games, I'm going to digitally get them. I'm personally in the camp of, I like physical because, one, nothing beats going out and buying a new game and ripping open the packaging, smelling that sweet plastic, and then putting back and having to wait to drive home half an hour to play it. But is it just part of the fun?
And then 2 hours for it to install.
Yes, exactly. And that's what I always forget about. I'm like, no, I want to play now. But I mean, from someone who worked at GameStop for 2 years, I was actually pretty surprised when I first learned that when you sell the card, and I'm sure everybody's familiar with it, when you go into a GameStop, they try to get you to, they sell.
Mm-hmm.
Can I interest you in this? You want to pre-order this? All these games are coming out. Do you want disc protection? Do you want to sign up for a Power Up Rewards? And the Power Up Rewards card was what we had to sell when I worked there way back in, it was 2010, 2011, through my spree. Let's say like 2010 through 2012 when I worked there. That was how you got hours, is you didn't get a lot of store hours unless you sold the Power Up card. Mm-hmm. And the Power Up card was the discount card for the store for GameStop. So you'd go in, you get a discount on used games, certain deals you would get from the card. You would get more for certain trade-ins. You get bonuses.
And you get a subscription to Game Informer.
And you get a subscription to Game Informer. I found out, and I was surprised by that, which I guess it shouldn't have been in the long run, but you're selling the card, you're selling the magazine subscription, because every card you sold to a person who came in to sign up for it would be signed up for Game Informer, and they'd get it delivered to their house every month. And I came to find out pretty much they're just paying for the magazine subscription, and you get the GameStop stuff as a bonus.
Yeah, totally.
So, I mean, I can see that as a marketing standpoint, that's way better to sell it as like you're coming into store because you're already at GameStop. Have people at home probably don't even know, didn't even know the Game Informer was like a magazine that was out there.
Yeah, it was a very heavily like I feel like 90% of their readers are subscribing and not just like picking up the one that they see on the counter at GameStop. Like I don't think you see them like in grocery stores like you used to see EGM and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I miss too, because I miss going. When you're little, you go to the supermarket, you go to Big Y, your mom would go off. You're like, oh, to go look at the magazines. You'd get your Pojo, your Pokemon trading card magazine. You look at that for a bit. You'd see your EGM.
You get the one with the demo disc, the official PlayStation magazine.
Yes, or Nintendo Power.
I won't lie. When I was like a tween, I would steal them shits.
No, I don't blame you. It's just take the disc, you get a couple hours in a Crash Bandicoot, you're good to go.
Wiley was that guy that would annoy me. I'd get my magazine. I'm like, where's my disc?
Exactly.
That always happened. Yep. I do remember seeing that. I'm like, oh, I don't want to buy this one. There's no disc in here.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I was a bad boy.
They phased out, so.
You want to say something, Tyler? Go ahead.
I think GameStop can. I think they can survive, but they just need to adapt and change the way they do business.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, magazines are probably not the best way to maintain
What's a small part of the business?
Customer base.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like they focus so much on like the video games and like the action figures and like little tchotchkes like that.
That's more of a new thing though, because back when I was working the 2010, 2012, that was like we had nothing. We had maybe Pokemon cards, and maybe if you're lucky, Magic cards, but that was it.
And I think if they keep on expanding in that direction, like maybe start working with like indie board game like developers and stuff like that, and they need to cater to more people, not just like the video gamers, I feel like. And then maybe they also need to do more things like events and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like,
That would be cool to host like tournaments and stuff, like rather than just, hey, it's a midnight release, come play Mortal Kombat for like an hour while we wait.
yeah, I feel like they need to start exhibiting more like goodwill towards their customer base. Do things that make people feel good about shopping at GameStop, and not
Aside from buy two, get one free.
My GameStop gives me shows goodwill to me. You know, they're always giving me stuff and hooking me up.
Which one do you go to?
The East Lawn Metal one.
Oh,
That's
okay.
true.
They're always looking out for me.
Because you're a regular.
I'm a regular. I go in there and instantly. Like they're like, hey, what's up, man?
That is the cool part, but again, you know the people that work
They're
there.
like, you ain't pre-order this? You're missing out on this. I'm like, yeah, I know. Here you go, man. You still got
That's awesome.
They
That's
take the
cool.
bobblehead.
That's
or
cool.
Take that. And I'm like, all right, man. Good looks.
Yeah, I mean, I for one, I don't enjoy the upselling, the constant, no, I don't want disc protection, no, I don't want to pre-order that, but I like going to GameStop, looking around, maybe picking something up that I didn't expect to, finding something that's like, good price used and giving it a shot. And
Yeah.
so I'd be sad to see him go. I think something that's interesting I heard is, and I didn't read too much into it, but did you guys ever see the movie The Big Short?
No.
It was like it was a movie surrounding the financial crisis of like 2008 when we went into the Great Recession or whatever. And there was this sort of economic guru that saw it all coming, played by Christian Bale in the movie. And he is now investing heavily into GameStop.
Oh, wow.
So he sees something there.
Yeah.
So,
I know that they're trying with a couple stores all across the U.S. Experimenting with having more retro games on hand.
Yeah.
Doing things like tournaments. Having games, actual full games, available readily and available to play. Things like that. Like they're trying a lot of different things in different stores. So they're just dropping different stores and trying to see what niche works
what can
and
kind of work. I think there
trying
was
to incorporate it.
There was a guy I watched online. He was going to like little, I love crappy trading card games and old trading card stuff. But there was like a resurgence of one called I think it was Bakugan. It looks horrible, by the way. I mean, the text and everything. I looked at some of the cards. I was like, it's trash, bad. My opinion, not everybody else's. But GameStop had the set release. They're like, we're bringing Bakugan back, but like come to GameStop to get exclusive like cards and monsters. It's basically like a play on a marble game where you get trading cards and one of them's magnetic. And you get these little marble monster guys. You roll onto them. When they hit the magnet, they pop out, and it's like a little dragon or a scorpion or something.
Wow.
It's a neat concept.
I didn't realize what Bakugans was. My kid has like boxes.
Yeah, I got. I will admit, I got into them in high school. Me and my buddy, I was like, "Wow, I have a job now. Let's go buy stupid stuff at Target." And,
as you do.
as one does.
Yeah.
But I mean, they held like you're gonna do that like launch event for that. So that was pretty cool. Maybe they start doing stuff with like Magic set releases or Pokemon sets. Like, hey, tournament or something, or offering some kind of joint deal. But
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I'd like to see that. Treat your employees better, and you'll treat your customers better.
That is also very true.
For sure.
Because it was bad. I hate it. I remember going to like having a panic attack before trying to go to work because it was just such a pressure, just such a pressure cooker there. Like you had to sell, you had to meet certain numbers, or you're not going to get hours, which was awful.
Yeah, that's shitty.
It was very shitty.
I wonder
I'm not
if
sure
it's
if that's
still
just-
as bad.
Yeah, I hope not. I hope for everybody there it's not, but maybe it was just my store. Who knows?
Maybe. So the next story I had, we kind of already went over. So it's the Overwatch thing. Wonder will it come to Switch? We don't know. Find out soon. Then the other thing, there's kind of games starting to come out again. We had somewhat of a slow summer, a couple big Switch games. Now we have another big Switch game called Astral Chain, which I think is surprising a lot of people. It's a new one from Platinum, developers of Nier, Bayonetta, Wonderful 101, lots of other action games. And it's got like an 88 on Metacritic. So
It looks very interesting.
it's like an anime ass action game. So I think it's right.
I
up
couldn't
your
put it
alley.
better.
I'm hearing people compare it to like Devil May Cry, like the fighting style and stuff like that. So I guess if you're into those kind of games, this could be for you.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
assigning that one to you.
Hell yeah, I'm down to check it out. Like I was telling you and Tyler before the show, and you weren't here yet, Kenny, but there's an old game for PS2 developed by Capcom. Is this by Capcom? Astral Chain?
No, but Platinum.
Platinum, okay.
Yeah,
But Capcom back on the PS2, they released a game in the same vein. It was when Devil May Cry was, picking up steam, was pretty popular. It was called Chaos Legion, and it had almost the same concept, except it was more Devil May Cry-esque. You're, red-haired emo guy with a sword, but you control these things called legions, and you had different ones that you could power up and everything, kind of like from what I see, at least saw in the review for Astral Chain, is like you have your sword guy, your melee guy, you have your ranged legion. I think they are called legions in this too.
Yeah, I think they are. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, wow, Chaos Legion. 5 people know about this game. But yeah, you have your range guy, and then you can do like that whole. There's a whole bunch of movement options with them too. At least in Astral Chain, which it looked like this was just probably like a much better spiritual successor to Chaos Legion.
Cool.
So check it out if you guys don't know what it is.
And the other one is Control, which we just picked up. So I will have impressions on that next week. That's a new one from Remedy, the developers of Alan Wake, the original Max Payne, and Quantum Break. So I've been hearing good things about that. So stay tuned for next week's episode. We'll have some hot new impressions.
Nice.
All right. Now that brings us to Question Corner. Or mailbag, whatever we're calling it these days.
Well, Anthony,
The question bag in the corner. Someone put it there. You got to pick it up. It's gonna get all dusty.
I know this first question is by Anthony.
I had a question. I thought it'd be great to hear your guys' story too.
Okay.
Going inside Anthony's mind. Question corner.
I don't think you guys want to go in there. I mean, you can if you want, but you're not going to come out the same person. What was the most embarrassed or embarrassing moment you've had while gaming? And I'll say mine right from the
Okay.
start was, I think a lot of people, I don't know if anyone out there can also relate to it, I think they probably can, was a good old game called Kingdom Hearts 2. It came back out in, 2004, 2005. It had everybody, of course, all the best and memorable levels. You go see Aladdin, you go see Will Smith as the genie before it was Will Smith as a genie. You go see, I was going to say Rob Schneider, but he doesn't play the parrot. Gilbert Godfrey as Iago. There's also the Little Mermaid level, which is a rhythm-themed level where there's no fighting. All you do is you have to have a certain magic to get to a certain part, and then you have to play a rhythm game. And this rhythm game is done off original songs from the game for the Little Mermaid world. And is the most embarrassing thing you could ever have to have somebody else that's older than you and or also your dad walk in on and look at you, and then you look at him, and you have a minute of unbroken silence while in the background they're going, "So midway, then we'll play, and no one gets and then your dad just walks away.
And then he just thinks you're not a man for the rest of your life.
And then he comes back in and says, "Why does that boy not have a shirt on?" And I was like, "Dad is sorry. He's in the Little Mermaid world. He's a Keyblade guy. Get it? You don't get it. Dad. Final Fantasy, Dad."
I like it better when things are wetter.
Under the sea.
Classic.
Just my dad and me.
Just my dad and me. He thinks I'm a little weird, but it's okay. Just my dad and me. But yeah, that was really embarrassing.
Nice. I wonder what made you think of that.
I don't know. I was at work. I was thinking of stuff, and I was like, man, that's just really embarrassing. And I was like, I wonder what everybody else says.
You Kenny, you got anything?
I do actually. I nobody caught me playing this, but looking back on it, I'm kind of
You have to be
embarrassed.
caught, or else what is it?
So I thoroughly was sitting there, and I like bored out of my mind with the PlayStation 1. I lived in Lawrence, Mass at the time, and I was like, wow, I don't have a new game to play. And my sister had just been bought Powerpuff Girls Chemical Extraction, and like she wasn't there. I think she was out with my mom, and I'm like, I think I'm gonna play this. 3 hours later, they came home. My sister was like, "That's my game."
Big it's like a game.
I'm like, Mojo Jojo.
Yeah, I gotta be Mojo Jojo. Shut up.
Oh my god, I was so
good?
embarrassed. It was for me at the time. I loved
Powerpuff
it.
Girls
I
were
was like,
sick.
shit.
Yeah, I
this
mean,
game
you
was
probably
amazing.
just had a fragile ego as a little kid.
I was like,
'Cause, I mean, nowadays you'd be like, Powerpuff Girls? Hell yeah, I'll play that.
fuck it. Yeah.
They were the lollies of the '90s in
Imagine,
America.
I was around all these people in like 5th grade, and they were like, "You like Powerpuff Girls?" Nah, man. Nah. My sister watches that.
I just have the dolls. I mean, the poster. I mean, no.
I remember my
I'm a
friend.
rowdy rough boy.
Yeah.
I don't like the Green Gang.
Yeah.
I had a friend that was.
Good times.
I was one of my best friends from middle school. He was really into the GTA games like Vice City, and I don't think San Andreas was out yet, but Animal Crossing was out. And me and another buddy were really into that, and he used to just talk shit about to us all the time. He was like we had the strategy guide. We were like reading it in school and stuff.
Oh, I've been there. I'm so sorry. That's thinking
Yeah,
back
he
on
was
that
like-
too. People was like, "Were you fucking baby?" Like, no.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, wow, I can't believe we're playing that kitty ass game. I'm gonna go mow these hookers down in GTA. But
Sick Tom Nook on his ass.
so then he ended up getting the game and getting just as obsessed with it eventually. So, but at the time it was a little embarrassing. And then another time that I distinctly remember, I was probably around the same age, and it's only due to me getting upset. But we were playing Slayer, Hang 'Em High. It was like me and 3 friends all playing on the original Xbox, and I died or something. I was just having a bad match, and I like literally just took my fist and slammed it into the wall, and I like scared everybody.
I was like, well, he's pissed. Was this Halo 1 or 2?
1.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah, and that was embarrassing. I had to like apologize and be like, "All right, I'm sorry, guys. I know I lost my cool."
That's awesome.
I'm not gonna hurt anyone.
Yeah,
Sometimes you know
so that's what came to me.
What about
Hell
you, Tyler?
Tyler, last.
you got strategy guides.
Embarrassing. Man, I don't know. I mean, when I was younger, so when I first got the Game Boy Black and White, one of the first games I had on it was a Barbie game.
Hell yeah! Was it the horse racing one?
No, I don't think so. It was like a Barbie. I can't remember. It was so long ago. But I think the reason I had it was because it was like my older sister's. She got it first, and then she didn't want to play it anymore. So then I just kind of inherited it. And one of the games she had was this Barbie game. And I would just play it all the time.
We gotta do a review. I want this review. I want this review for the Barbie game.
I can't remember how that's played. I think you like
We're gonna look back.
Yeah,
you threw like coins or something.
It was the
That's-
Google search.
It's
Wiley.
gotta be. It's like the that Mary Kate and Ashley go to the mall for PlayStation 1 game.
Yeah. I think it was something similar to that. Yeah, but I remember you collected like coins and shoes.
It was just a Sonic
Wiley's
ripoff. It
almost
was
at
just
the
a
bottom
Sonic
of this. Wiley,
reskin.
give us a name.
Barbie Game Girl.
What's the cover?
Barbie-
look like?
Barbie Magic Genie color? No.
I'm trying to find the box art.
It was like
I always threw out my Game Boy boxes when I was a kid. Isn't
I
that
regret
hilarious?
and I regret that so
Yeah.
much now. I'm like, why did I throw those out?
the cartridge was like a pink background.
I'm seeing several for Game Boy Color.
Did you have a backpack?
So this was the original Game Boy, right? Okay. Oh, Ocean Discovery.
Oh, you're a mermaid.
Wow, there's been a lot of Barbie games, huh?
Yeah,
They push her hard.
Yeah, Fashion Pack.
they were all great.
Wow, I did not know. There's been like as many Barbie games as Mario games.
There's a lot of Barbie games.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Barbie Game Girl, 1992.
They knew it. They knew the mainstream Barbie gamer girl.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it came out.
Bathwater.
So it,
Bathwater.
the game came out in 1992. I probably didn't play it until 98, maybe. However
Or
old.
6.
Yeah,
Or,
Hell
maybe.
yeah.
or no, 4. What are you? 93?
I'm 93,
Okay.
so I was probably 3 or 4 when I started playing it.
Getting that good stuff. Get those good influences. You better tell me you played that Tamagotchi
And so,
game for
did
Game
anything
Boy.
ever embarrassing happen, or it's just embarrassing looking back on it?
It's just embarrassing looking back on it.
Okay, fair enough.
He's like, how am I so stupid? Barbie game.
All right, so the next part, mailbag, question corner. I guess they're two different segments.
Yes. Question
We can
corner.
Now I
do
get
it.
it.
I was just throwing it in. I thought it'd be a fun little tidbit.
Question corner comes from Anthony.
Yeah,
brain.
okay.
Mailbag comes from
the audience.
The audience. Okay, and honestly, this next story here, the question is, what are your thoughts on the supposed leak design for the PS5 from B. Crims? I saw headlines for this, and I was like, "There's no way that this is legit," and I never even clicked on
I
it.
haven't
Like I
seen
saw
it.
some
Really?
weird pictures about like,
So I've looked into it. It's the dev kit, but it's from my understanding, like people who are covering it, they're like, we've never seen a dev kit with this much detail. So this must be like the final designs.
really?
That's what some people are
It
theorizing.
looks bonkers. It looks
Yeah.
like the freaking Enterprise.
It does. I was just gonna say, it looks like a spaceship.
With like, okay, I actually
Yeah.
did see that photo floating around. I don't know. That looks.
But
too
that's
fake.
the dev kit.
Yeah, that looks like a mix between a Roku TV and like.
Why are you really gonna have a play and a fast forward button right on the front? That's not happening.
So that's the dev kit that's
Okay.
being sent out, the PS5 dev kit. So, but people are saying, some people that are covering it are stating
Weird.
that they've never that the final design may look very close to the dev kit because they've never seen a dev kit with this much detail. Normally, it's just shipped
It's
out
probably just like a box.
a
usually,
box
yeah.
with running the whatever it's going
The
to be
hardware,
running,
is
the
gonna
hardware.
be,
yeah.
the engine, and all that.
I don't know.
But they
how I
said
feel
that
about
they've never
this.
seen a
No,
dev kit
that's-
with that much
It
I'm
detail.
looks
not
like,
a-
it looks
I'm
like
not
a
a
seat.
fan.
It
No.
looks
Like, what
like
are
you
you
could
gonna-
sit in it,
Yeah, exactly.
and
Like,
it has enough vents to aerate your
mean-
butt. It's like gamer cool
Well,
down.
if it's gonna be as strong as they're claiming, then they're gonna be venting the crap out of the
Oh,
system.
yeah.
You know?
yeah, well, I guess that's a positive. You should come with a little vacuum blower. Yeah.
You
It's
cool
gonna
your
be
room
like
down.
a Roomba. It's gonna when you're done playing, you could be like Roomba mode. Picking up
It
the-
scuttles back over.
Can vacuum and play games.
Now that's a system I would buy. Make it happen.
Make it happen.
But so that's what I've looked into.
So
it so
you think
far.
it's legit, or
I think listening to the people who've been doing this for a while, you know, and they got a little more expertise than some of us. They think it is. You know,
I think they'll maybe take
I
the
don't
dip
think
out.
I don't think it's plausible. It looks ridiculous, but
I disagree. It's way too different from the design of how a PlayStation should look. Every single PlayStation is kind of just
Iterated a little bit.
sleeker, and
It's like you
yeah,
chopped off a part of a marble countertop.
the PS4 is a great looking
I don't know.
console.
Really,
Isn't
really,
it?
It is, yeah.
The Pro is a little bit less.
well, really think about it.
Just-
The PS3 bulky one, that
Yeah.
was like the Hulk of the
Yeah,
of
that
the
was kind-
console.
that was-
That
with
thing
the-
came
have
out
that
and it was
one.
like smash PlayStation 3
Spider-Man
smash.
font on it.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
yeah. I noticed
Yeah.
that too. All the games was like PlayStation 3. And I was like, and because they had a Spider-Man game when I worked at GameStop next to it, and I was like, wait a minute, this is the same font.
That's good.
Oh man, yeah. I don't think it'll stay that. I hope it doesn't at least because
That's
it looks like a knockoff
I wouldn't
console
want
you
to
get at
drop
Walmart.
in like a quarter's gonna fall in.
Yeah, there's too much space to put stuff in, and that's cool. But I don't want to put stuff in my game console I want to work.
There. My cat's just gonna be batting around and it's gonna just get a whole bunch of.
It's gonna start
shit
living inside it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm not thinking that's
Grandma's
legit.
gonna think it's a Roku and bring it back to her room, and I'm not
But I've
gonna
been
be able
wrong
to play.
before, even on this show.
It's gonna be interesting to see.
It shall be. All right, guys. I think that's gonna do it. Unless anyone had anything else.
Close her out.
Let's close her out.
Been a
This
good
has
show.
been the Level With You show. You can find us on podcast services. We are on Podcast Addict, iTunes, Stitcher. What else am I forgetting?
Discord server link is in the
Spotify.
description.
Yep, in the description. And that's gonna do it. Level With You show.
With these
Thanks,
rings,
man.
I be wed.
All right.